farmlands and forests of Central Europe comes a cuisine rich in tradition, from smoked sausages to sauerkraut, forest mushrooms to beautiful baked cheesecake. Welcome to the deeply satisfying world of Polish food. Join our food safari to learn how to make the national dish, bigos. Come mushroom hunting in the pine forests, a sensational roast duck, comfort food central Polish dumplings, plus we bake rye bread, smoke small goods and indulge in incredible cheesecake.
Polish cuisine, I think, is more about the tang and the tart. It's definitely the sourness, the vinegars, the tart, the tang. Over time, there might have been peasant dishes as such, but they've become these fantastic staples of Polish cuisine. But I think if you were to say what Polish food is, it's just that warm bear hug you want at the end of the day.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Chef Judita Supnicki came to Australia as a child, and her food-loving family kept their Polish culinary traditions alive and encouraged her to follow her passion for food and train as a chef. She's owned and run 2 restaurants and loves to cook Polish food for her friends and family. Some of the key ingredients.
Well, looking at this, first thing I see is gherkins, one of my favourite things. You've got 2 types, basically one's in vinegar or ones that have been pickled in the salt water.
Is generally the one in vinegar clear and the one in salt cloudy?
Yes.
And they have a completely different flavour?
Very, very different flavour. And I think the ones in vinegar are got a little bit more crunch than the ones in the salt. Sauerkraut. It's basically pickled cabbage with lots of salt.
Beautiful sour flavour.
Very, very sour, but really great.
So it's actually ready in the jar.
Ready to go. Ready to go.
Judita, mustard must be very popular.
Oh, very, very. Musztarda in Polish. We get the hot mustard, you've got the horseradish mustard, etc. But very much of a staple every single time you eat because you have to have that with your small goods or your cut meats.
So what's in here?
Okay, so this is a fridge full of goodies. Horseradish.
What do you use it for?
One of my favourite things that I love to make is świekła, which is like you cook down your beetroots and then you add horseradish, sour cream, you balance it out with a little bit of lemon juice, sugar, and you have that as a condiment. And the other fantastic thing you can do with horseradish is grab a stick of sausage, dip it in and go for it. It's fantastic, it's the best thing.
Oh, good.
We've got here also some sour cream, which is very much used to flavour a lot of the salads that we make. Beetroot soup, always have to have a big dollop of sour cream in there. Beautiful.
Beetroot is one of the adored vegetables in Poland, and one of the best uses of beetroot is in chlodnik, a delicious cold soup adored in summer.
I remember growing up, Mum used to make this for us and we used to call it hot pink soup.
Oh,
it is. So we're like, Mum, can you please make us hot pink soup?
Bella Jakubia grew up with it and always loved the colour and flavour.
Chop off the tops and bottoms and peel them. So we've got about 300 grams of beetroot. And you need some potato as well, because what's Polish food without potatoes? So now we cook up the beetroot and potato. It's got a little bit of vegetable stock. And soon that's going to go deliciously bright red. We're going to pop that. Oops. Yeah, we've let that cool for at least an hour, just to make sure it's cold, because otherwise all the yogurt will split. So we've got an echalot, usually put about 1 or 2, but these ones are quite big. There's no need to chop anything finely because the blender's going to do all the hard work for us. 1 cucumber goes in, a cup of yogurt.
What sort of yogurt do you like to use?
Now I'm using a natural Greek yogurt, some lemon juice, white pepper, look at the colour, isn't it just
fantastic.
amazing? We can use creme fraiche or sour cream for this. It's just like a nice thick dollop. I've got some lovely chopped chives. Just going to give it a bit of extra oomph and the colour's just beautiful. And then last but not least, our horseradish. Probably one of the prettiest soups in the entire world, I have to say.
I'd actually dress specially for this soup, I think.
Yeah, just make sure you don't wear white. Oh no.
Oh, no.
I got myself. I knew this was going to happen.
For Poles, there's nothing more essential than a good loaf of rye bread. Crunchy on the outside, bread that lasts quite a few days and has so many uses.
It's always the best way to start with the water.
Andrew Lipisko loves working with the traditional rye flour of his homeland and a natural starter he calls a sour.
The secret ingredient, sour or rye culture. It was brought over from Europe. It's over 100 years old.
Andrew was studying engineering and working part-time in a bakery when he found he adored creating traditional breads. He now owns the busy Rye Crust Bakery in the Melbourne suburb of Dandenong.
And Polish bread is rye bread.
And Polish bread is rye sourdough bread.
Aha.
Once the bread is pre-cut, we can actually start molding it.
These look amazing, Andrew.
This is actually called bread mold, which takes years to grow. This actually helps the bread grow. Knocking the dough back, reducing it in size as well. And now for a Vienna finish, you pre-mold, creating a nice Vienna that will go into the basket.
Fantastic.
This is the wonderful Polish rye. You get the crunch when you cut it through, and this is the beautiful texture of the bread you'll find inside.
So it's quite airy.
Yes, it is. It is an open texture. So when you spread your butter, it's got somewhere to go. This is a traditionally Polish one as well, with sourdough and honey. And then Borodinski bread, darker and heavier again.
That, yes.
When they're having vodka in Poland, they will have a shot of vodka and they will smell the bread just to sort of help them ease the pain. This is a Polish tradition also.
What a great tradition.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yes,
Thank you
it
so
is.
much. It's said there's a pierogi or dumpling for all seasons, filled with mushrooms or cabbage, cheese or stone fruit. Former economist Joanna Prokopowicz came to Australia in 1980 and now owns and runs a successful pierogi business in Adelaide.
However, we're calling that pierogi, perogi, peroszki, pelimeni, vereniki. In our country, in Poland, we call that pierogi.
And are the best ones made by hand?
Of course, because you can rolling up, very thin the dough. But the problem is when thinking about the bigger quantity, you'll be staying day and night and rolling and pinching and never finish.
Traditionally, you've got what fillings?
The number one, I think, is the cheese and potato we prepare today. Then sauerkraut, so sauerkraut with mushroom, meat with sauerkraut, and also plain mushroom. They are the mostly traditional pierogi we're eating in our country. The water is bubbling, so you can put pierogi very careful in there. Stir them very gentle. When they float up to the surface, no more than a couple minutes. Carefully dry and put into the fry pan like that. With a little bit of fried onion, melted butter, and just a pinch of breadcrumbs. Chopped chives, because something green is always good to have on the plate. Yogurt with green cucumber and some dill inside.
That is lovely. It's comfort food, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. In Poland, one of the favourite dishes is roast duck. For Bogdan Szymczak, it takes him back to days of feasts followed by dancing.
It was a very popular dish in 1970s. There was even a very good disco restaurant called the Golden Duck. So when we were teenagers, we were going there and dancing and had duck from time to time.
That's a perfect thing to do after eating duck, isn't it?
That's right.
Bogdan trained as a chef in Poland and is now part owner of the popular Sydney City restaurant Mazzaro. At home, he says duck is one of the easiest dishes to prepare.
The legs like this. Okay, quickly. So they don't get too dry. Okay. I will make a few openings for the fat. Rub the marjoram all over. So I'm using two types of apples, the red one and the green. Bit of pepper, bit of marjoram, and bit of salt. Orange, that will give a nice aroma.
It smells so good.
Now I can push inside. I will tie up the legs just like this. And we can spread a little bit with oil and honey.
And you said a hot oven for 2 hours.
Once it gets a bit of color, we can lower the temperature.
Bogdan makes an accompaniment by toasting sliced peeled Granny Smith and red apples in a dry frying pan, then adding sugar to help caramelise the fruit and a little salt and pepper. He sprinkles marjoram and adds a small amount of butter, then some soaked cranberries. Bogdan adds chopped dried apricots and walnuts soaked in a honey vodka called krupnik. Then an extra splash for good measure and some fresh marjoram before serving. And I love that this is a Polish serving. A nice small Polish serving. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. One of the joys of being Polish is knowing one mushroom from another and how good they taste. In the pine forests of Australia, many of the mushrooms that are found back home flourish, so whole families come and keep their culinary traditions alive.
Oh, look at this one.
Sammy and Bella Jakubiak have been in the forests with their parents and grandparents since they were tiny. How old are you when you learn what mushrooms to pick and what not?
I think we know from a pretty young age, don't you? Probably 4 or 5, but there's always like the matriarch or the patriarch of the family. So everyone brings back their basket full of mushrooms, and before it leaves the forest, it gets checked over.
It's still very healthy, very good one.
And if you know what to look for, then they're pretty distinctive.
Yeah.
You know which one's which. So
The pine ones are pretty easy because you can see they're quite orange and bright in colour.
pretty, aren't they?
And actually this size is perfect for pickling them, so we'll save them.
definitely no red ones. Yeah.
What happens if you have a red one with white spots?
I don't want to know.
You'd just be, I don't think you'd die, but you'd be really, really sick. I mean,
Yeah, you'd be sick out every end, I reckon.
Yeah.
After a while, you really know what to look for,
Well, you can
right?
almost see like little mounds.
Yeah,
of
like
the,
a little hump.
Little humps, yeah, and the pine needles sort of raised up. I found one!
Oh, they found one!
Now, be very careful where you step.
Oh,
They're
wow.
everywhere.
No.
Yeah.
So, Sammy, when you've been collecting, you always cook up straight away afterwards?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of the fun, I guess, eating the mushrooms as soon as you pick them. And what we do is we actually save, you know, all the little baby ones that we picked, but the larger ones we're going to cut up and eat them. So basically, we just want to brush off any sort of dust and dirt and pine needles, because obviously we don't want any grit when we're eating it. First things first, a nice big knob of butter, chopped onion. You're hungry, aren't you?
I am, of course I am. I'm always hungry.
Add the garlic. Right, now a nice generous handful of beautiful pine mushrooms. Stir a little toss, make sure they're all covered with butter. It's going to be really, really tasty when it's all finished. And of course, salt and pepper. I guarantee it's going to be the best mushroom dish you've ever had, and the freshest.
Freshest for sure.
So they're probably about ready to finish off with a bit of beautiful parsley. Yum, yum. Look at all that beautiful butter just oozing onto that bread. It's going to be delicious. Let's tuck in.
Wow. They've got a really lovely sort of mellow flavour of their own.
It tastes a lot more earthy, I guess you could say.
I reckon we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of mushrooms today.
Well, if you bought them in the shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be so expensive.
Yeah. Poland loves its carbohydrate hits, and one of the most popular dishes is potato pancakes, fried to golden perfection with a variety of toppings.
The most popular one, sour cream and sugar.
And sugar?
And sugar. I knew you would be surprised. So with sour cream, that's mostly snack. And that's the mushrooms you can pick up in Poland. They're very popular.
Ela Hilecka is a perfect ambassador for all things Polish. She works at the New South Wales State Library and out of hours works tirelessly promoting the delights of the cuisine she grew up with.
Okay, you have to pick up good potatoes. And actually, I like them from Kifler potatoes because they're not as watery as the other potatoes. You have to grate them. One egg and spoon of flour, bit of salt and pepper. Then you mix it. Now we will be doing the placki ziemniaczane. I like them nice and crispy, so I do 3 small one and thin one, so they will be nice and crispy on a crepe pan.
So what do you look for? Browning around the sides or?
Exactly. Then we will turn them.
Yummy.
That's the color we wanted to achieve.
Ella makes a sauce, sautéing diced onions in oil and butter, then adding sliced slippery jack mushrooms, which she sprinkles with flour, cooking a few seconds, then adding stock, salt and pepper, and thickened cream.
So now we've got our beautiful mushroom sauce, which we can just put over them. Sour cream on the side, bit of parsley.
Oh, yum.
Very nice.
Crispy pancake, beautiful mushroom sauce. I feel like I'm in Poland.
Poland in autumn.
The Polish love pickling vegetables and fruit at the height of the season, and Ula Belinsky's range of pickles are the source of a fast meal or substantial snack after her 12-hour working days as a mechanical engineer. A big favourite are dill pickles. Ula, how do you turn these dill pickles into beautiful gherkins?
20 minutes, all you need.
The gherkins are packed into a sterilised jar with a horseradish leaf at the bottom and some dried dill stalks.
Now I can't stick them upright, so I put them to the side.
Ula slices fine slivers of garlic and pours over a pickling liquid made with water, salt and spices. Then adds more dill stalks, a horseradish leaf and a flat river stone to keep everything submerged.
Then you keep them uncovered for about 3 days in a cool place. You will see the bubbles start coming out of them. So once the bubbles stop coming, you just simply close them and you keep them in a fridge up to the 6 months.
Fantastic.
You could eat them after a week.
In Poland, pork is adored and used to make a whole range of smoked small goods. Ramon Norell came to Australia hoping to start a small goods factory. He worked crazy shifts as a truck driver to get the money to start up, and now works alongside his son Martin, producing over 70 traditional Polish sausages and hams in his small factory in Sydney's north.
Polish people can't live without of small goods.
No. Why not?
They from generation to generation eat. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
That's good business for you.
Yeah, that's why I can live, you know.
Polish sausages all have distinctive flavours based on the right balance of herbs and spices. Martin prepares the mix for one of the most famous European sausages, the Kransky. Same spicing as your family would have used back in Poland?
Yep, nothing changed.
The final stages of Kransky making are a delicate hands-on business.
Once they're all linked up, they're all hanged up, so they're not touching. And we start the smoking process.
It's a magic moment, isn't it?
Yeah, magic moment. Have to open, and we have to put in a shower.
Put them in the shower?
Yeah, you take the shower, the sausage. The cold shower keep like that long time.
Keeps them looking beautiful like that.
Yes, exactly.
If you're doing a whole cold cuts, you have maybe 5, 6 different things, wouldn't you? You'd have sausage. What would you have?
Sausage have to be, it's a white brown.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
This one is a Polish salami, juniper sausage, this one. This one, cabanossi.
Okay, there's a name I know.
Cabanossi got not much fat, but without the fat you can make any sausage.
Of course not. Of course not.
You have to.
Small goods play a big role in the most famous dish from Poland, the hearty hunter's stew known as bigos. And bigos is a means of including the ends of sausages or small goods.
The hunters would go out hunting all day. The wives or whoever else would give them a big stick of sausage or whatever else. They'd be gnawing on that all day, and then the leftover ends they'd bring home, and that would go into bigos.
Judita Supnicki adores making her favourite Polish dish and says the flavour is always a little different each time as she adds slightly different ingredients.
So I'm just going to saute off some of this pork neck. You want this meat to be coloured. And this is when I do my onion as well. Put some bay leaves in there.
Next, Judita adds a mix of speck, kransky and presswurst.
The mushrooms in. Pepper, black pepper, see that? And I've got some allspice here.
Equally important is the use of sauerkraut, which Judita cooks in a little water for 20 minutes. It's drained and then added to the meat.
Just cook that down. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is make a little roux out of tomato paste and flour. Now, traditionally, you don't put flour in it, but my mum used to do it. I think it gives it a nice sheen.
Judita heats duck fat and cooks a generous amount of tomato paste, then whisks in a little flour. She adds beef stock and stirs the mix into a rich red sauce, then strains it into the bigos pot.
Put a little bit of the wine in.
And how long does this cook for before you add the cabbage?
I'd give that about 30 minutes.
Judita cooks shredded fresh cabbage in a little water with crushed garlic and soaked porcini mushrooms for 15 minutes. Then mixes it into the bigos along with chopped prunes for a little sweetness.
Now, turn down the heat, way low, and then let it cook for about 2 or 3 hours.
Oh.
I don't want it to get too dry.
Yeah.
So just half covered is fine. Yeah.
This looks beautiful. It's sweet and smoky, and you've still got texture in that cabbage. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. It gets better and better as you reheat it.
No wonder it's a national dish.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie to you. Thank you very much.
Ryszard Janczewski has been baking heavenly Polish cakes since the age of 16, first in Poland, then in Australia, opening his cake shop in the Melbourne suburb of Bentley in 2005. His signature is a magnificent baked cheesecake that's rich and creamy with a slight tang of orange zest.
When you take it from the oven and you see the texture and the aroma coming up from the cheesecake, it's a beautiful moment.
And then eating it, of course.
And eating, of course.
Yeah.
In a special ribbed bowl, Ryszard creams butter, caster sugar and vanilla sugar.
And what is this device that you're using?
In Polish, it's called the wałek.
He sifts in flour and makes a dough. Rolls out the pastry and spreads it evenly. Pricks the pastry to help prevent it shrinking and par bakes it for 10 minutes. The remaining pastry is for the lattice top, and Ryszard likes to make a richer short crust by adding 2 eggs, which he rolls into a dough and rests in the fridge.
Because fantastic texture.
The filling uses Polish-style cottage cheese.
Texture kind of grainy, so we just gently mix the cheese with other ingredients, so we still leave the grainy texture of the cheese.
He adds sugar and sour cream, orange zest and sultanas.
We add the rest of the sugar.
Richard whisks together 5 whole eggs and 5 extra yolks and folds them into the cheese mixture. He adds flour.
And that just helps bind it and set it.
Yes, yeah.
And spoons the creamy cheese filling onto the pastry base. Then rolls out the rest of the dough, cutting strips of lattice for the top. These are brushed with a beaten egg and the cake baked for 30 minutes.
Oh my.
Looks very, very nice.
It does. It's got beautifully creamy.
And the texture.
What an exceptional Polish export this is.
On our next food safari, the beautifully spicy world of Afghan food. Exotic flavours from the mountainous heart of Central Asia, where the ancient Silk routes ran between Europe and the Far East.